Yes, good morning and welcome to Mornings in Meridian. Thank you for tuning in to this, the 2 best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Roger B. with you this morning, along with say hi to Mr. Rob Atkinson.
Hello, happy Friday.
It is a happy Friday.
It's Friday.
Can we just keep doing these multiple weekends?
No.
Can we have like Tuesday and Wednesday and come work Thursday and Friday? How about a 3-day week?
Our next holiday is not for a while.
Of course, now I showed Rob my work schedule for the upcoming month, and it's going to look like a 3-day work week for me for quite some time. But hey, at least you get a little vacation this month. Thank goodness.
Yeah, a week from today, we'll be leaving out.
We're going to miss you, as well as all of our Facebook people.
Wow.
Because Rob's the one that knows how to get that stuff on there.
That's why there's so many options for you to be a part of the show.
You can still hear it on the app. You can still hear it on WALTmeridian.com.
Hey, the app's not working. There's 102.1 FM. That's not working. Well, then we got a real problem.
Called radio. It's called radio. We're just out there. We love
Don't
you.
message me that week.
We love all y'all out there.
You try to message me, guess what? It's going to be come up with a block on it because I'm not taking any calls.
Please don't. Yes.
Leave me alone.
Gas Pastor's already. He's up this morning and he don't have to go to work. He said, "Bless your heart." 3-day work week. Bless your heart. And you know what that means in Southern.
Oh my goodness. He got to work a couple of days.
Bless your heart. All right. Well, listen, we're glad to be here on this Friday. We had a good show yesterday. A lot of good people calling in for the new year. And then also we heard from Congressman Guest talking about a little bit. One of the things we talked about was the upcoming vote today. The vote is today for whether they will vote for Mike Johnson for Speaker of the House.
Need to put Europe's final countdown on. It's the final countdown.
No. Okay. Hey, good idea.
Yep. So today is the day. So
I mean, they what they ought to do is they should have kept the ball in Times Square, put it back up.
Yeah.
And then tonight when they're finally getting together on the vote, watch the ball drop. And the winner is Mike Johnson.
Man.
You said there was some folks that expressed concern that are coming around saying they will vote for Congressman Johnson.
Well, it is good news this morning. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who last time said she was not going to vote for Mike Johnson. Well, it looks like this time around she has indicated that she will be voting for Mike Johnson.
Okay.
So that's one
All
that's
right.
come around. But Thomas Massey, of course, he is the one who has said, I am not going to vote for it. And this is a direct quote. He was on another show yesterday.
The "I'm not going to vote for him" is a direct quote?
No, this is the direct quote.
Oh, you've got more.
You can pull out all of my fingernails. You can shove bamboo up in them. You can start cutting off my fingers. I am not voting for Mike Johnson tomorrow. So there you go. Think we ought to start pulling fingernails out?
Rob, someone should call him on that. I think it's a bluff.
Let's do it live on C-SPAN today.
Let's have a couple of guys show up at Massey's office and say, "Hey, we think you're lying," and get started.
Yeah. So, but that he was on a podcast yesterday saying that he is not, period into paragraph, not voting for Mike Johnson. So that's your one that's saying no. If you get one more, doesn't have the votes. So that's kind of where we're at.
Well,
right now.
my understanding is if he gets one more, he still has the vote, but he can't have more than 2 vote against him. That's the way I'm hearing it.
Yeah, it says there's 434 members and all vote for someone by name. The magic number is 218. If Johnson gets the votes of all 219 Republicans, he wins. If Johnson gets 218 votes, he also wins. But 217, no dice. That's not going to happen. So that's kind of the way the vote count goes. So you got.
So I'm here. They're reporting it wrong. Then they said he can't have more than 2 people vote against him. It sounds like he can't have more than 1 vote against him.
Yeah, and that's Chad Pergram. Of course, he's the correspondent there for the House. But yeah, 219 Republicans. If all the rest of the Republicans vote for Mike Johnson and Massey, obviously he's going to do what he's going to do. Then you got the 218 for him to win. But if you get at least one more, Not happening. 217. So 218 is the number to get to.
Let's see. Trump endorses Mike Johnson. Everybody except, let's just say he gets everybody but Massey. And I just want to say to the folks in the district of what's Mr. Massey's first name?
Thomas Massey.
Thomas Massey. I'd like to say to all the folks in the district there of Thomas Massey,
Kentucky.
I'm sorry that federal funding is going to be very, very, very limited for you this next 4 years.
Yeah.
So, or 2 years, unless you can vote him out in a couple of years, whatever.
Yeah, Johnson was on Fox Business yesterday, and he indicated that he believes, and of course, talk is cheap, that he believes that he'll win the gavel in the first round of voting today.
Talk is cheap. You should see what we're getting paid for this.
Exactly.
So,
but he said he believes he'll win it in the first round of voting, is hopeful about the outcome. So,
okay,
we'll see. I think if I remember Mr. Guest saying yesterday that they were going to convene around lunchtime today. I think he said noon, so that'd be 11 our time. Of course, that'll be the first thing on the agenda today for the new Congress. So
he texted back to me yesterday. I was telling him, good interview and all the rest. He said that he wants to come on again soon, talk about the first 100 days of
sure, absolutely,
administration. So good to hear from our congressman.
Well, there's been another holdout, Representative Victoria Sparks. I believe she's from Indiana. She wants assurances that Speaker Johnson, in her direct quote, won't sell us out to the swamp, is what she said in her, because they're all walking down the hallways and they're catching them as they're walking by. And that was one of her direct quotes yesterday.
What indication has he done that already? You're talking about this last resolution. Let's see. Has anybody highlight?
She wrote on X yesterday. She said, I understand
right.
why President Trump is endorsing Speaker Johnson as he did Speaker Ryan, which is definitely important. However, we still need to get assurances that Speaker Johnson won't sell us out to the swamp.
Well, now he does not need to get in there and be like Ryan was.
Yeah. She went on to say President Trump will be able to save America only if we have a speaker with courage, vision, and a plan. Also, public commitment to the American people on how he will help deliver President Trump's agenda to drain the swamp. So very broad message there that she put on social media yesterday. So,
and I'll say this, I think Johnson gets the message strongly and see how things go if he does get in it again. But, they talk about, and the Congressman Guest said this yesterday, they're talking about some other, possibilities would be Scalise from Louisiana also.
Jim Jordan.
And
they tried that.
That's the whole point. I think I said back when they were having that big fiasco before, when they were trying to figure out, how they could get their act together. Scalise, put him in. That'd be great. He would be a perfect one. But, they didn't. So, okay. Yeah. Now you have Johnson. Well, okay. And unless you're willing to come across the board with every vote for Scalise, then you better just leave it the way it is.
Yeah. She went on to say Congress has abandoned its constitutional duty to the American people to properly oversee the spending of their earned money paid as taxes. Our next speaker must show courageous leadership to get our country back on track before this Titanic strikes an iceberg at any moment.
Dear Congresswoman,
Victoria Sparks.
Only if they were spending our tax money, which they are not.
Right.
They're spending borrowed money.
Right. Exactly.
The budget is made up, not a very large proportion is actual tax collection.
So, but she's one of the, I think if I heard correctly this morning, 7 Republicans right now are kind of
they're spending your great granddaughter's tax money.
Yeah, I think it's 7 of them right now, and she's one of those 7 included that are kind of have not been very committal on what they're going to do on their vote today. So we'll see how much wheeling and dealing was done between when Trump made his endorsement. What was it, right before the new year, and then today. We'll see how much happened behind the scenes on those phone calls today.
All right. We're going to be watching that. Of course, we'll be talking about it more on Monday. There's no question about that.
Oh, sure.
But let me just say, in politics, you have to wheel and deal. The president himself, the president-elect, number 47, is he 47?
Yeah.
He knows all about the art of the deal. But the good thing about it, if you want to buy a Toyota Corolla or a nice Highlander or a nice Tundra pickup truck, you don't have to be a wheeler and dealer, because all you have to do is go up to where the deal is really great, up at Doc's Toyota.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Doc's Toyota website right now, and Toyotathon is on 3.99% APR on select models. So go to the website and check out those deals. Of course, they have all of the new 25s there on the lot there. Of course, their most popular models right now are those Tacoma trucks, beautiful Tundras, RAV4s, Camrys. You can view all the inventory right now at docstoyota.com. Of course, they got a good pre-owned selection there on the lot as well. And talk to a knowledgeable sales staff there at Highway 16 West in Philadelphia, and they'll get you into a good-looking Toyota vehicle today. And, of course, don't forget about servicing that vehicle. They got one of the best service departments around there, and they're going to be opening up their doors at 7:30 this morning. They'll be there till 5, a few hours on Saturday from 8 until noon. So drop by and see them today, Highway 16 West in Philadelphia. You can't miss them right there before you make your way to the Pearl River Resort, or call ahead at 601-600-3786. That is 601-600-3786. Or, of course, as we mentioned, online at docstoyota.com. And, of course, like we said, take advantage of Toyotathon right now on those select models there at docstoyota.com. And also check out those Land Cruisers, some pretty sharp-looking vehicles there as well. So a lot of other dealerships, they'll tell you, oh, we got this limited time deal. We're going to give you this little special gift whenever you make a purchase, and it's not really worth the time and the hassle. But at Doc's, every single deal is fantastic. That's why we always say
there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
Yes.
All right. It's Mornings in Meridian. We have time for your call. If you'd like to give us one, 601-485-9191, 601-485-9191 gets it right here to us. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
And, of course, looking at some just interesting things, it says the government revenue. It's kind of interesting how we're funded here. It looks like of overall revenues, 49% is from income taxes.
Wow, and the other 51% went to Ukraine. Oh, sorry.
Then you got Social Security, Medicare.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of yeah. You look at your income tax, and then look at that other big amount they're taking out of your check each month, and that's Social Security taxes and things like that.
I have the full confidence that will be ready for me when I get that age.
Don't think they're just taking that and, okay, we got to put this in the bank and save it for our retarees. No, that's part of your overall. That's right. Well, how are we going to pay back the retirees? Well, don't worry. We'll better. We'll borrow some more from China or from India or somewhere. I don't know. We'll get some money somewhere. Somebody's going to lend it to us. Trust me, they're going to lend it to us.
Well, that's like Eddie said in Christmas Vacation. Well, yeah, it's kids fend for themselves.
Let the kids and grandkids fend for themselves.
They can fend for themselves. So those retirees, they can fend for themselves.
But it's it just makes me laugh whenever somebody like Massey stands up there and takes that little stand of virtue that he's taking, making a statement.
He's kind of pulling a Matt Gaetz here with McCarthy. You remember when Gaetz, that whole showdown they had on the floor, and things got pretty testy on the floor. This is, I guess, his version of that, so to speak. But,
and how's that all work for Mr. Gaetz at this point? Just saying.
Well, neither one of them are there anymore. So McCarthy or Gaetz.
That's right.
Neither one of them are there.
That did. Well, hey, y'all are troublemakers. Out you go. There you go.
It's amazing how Gaetz submitted his resignation, and now that whole investigation has just gone away.
Well, it's kind of like, hey, why mess with the government when I could make real money being a lobbyist?
There you go.
Or be a podcaster.
Hey, there's a revenue stream.
I'm going to turn on my phone and sit at my kitchen table and make some money.
You mean I don't even have to get out of my pajamas? I just, hey, there you go. I'm going to be a podcaster.
Give me a
podcaster. You want to know how a radio talk show hosts really feel about podcasting?
Podcaster. Let me tell you right now.
What's the cartoon character? SpongeBob SquarePants character. What was the guy? The dude? Wait a minute now. There's a lot of podcasts I like now. No, you're gonna make fun of you making fun of Joe Rogan? Is that what you're doing?
You listen to Joe Rogan. That's all I hear. Rogan.
Rogan's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, goodness me. Well, I tell you what, we're just having more fun on this Fun Friday than we deserve, but you're welcome to be part of it. Our number here, 601-485-9191, gets it done for you. So you were upset about the, wait a minute, not you. You're saying that America is upset about the All-State Sugar Bowl commercial yesterday.
Well, first of all, I know we're going to play the audio of the commercial. Yeah,
we can save that to the other side. Well, we got 5 minutes.
And we might go ahead and play it here in a second. But every single one of these bowl games has a corporate sponsor. Like last night you had the Gator Bowl. It was the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Mm-hmm. I mean, this was the All-State Sugar Bowl. So they all have
the Real Quest, whatever bowl that was.
You shut up, Bob. I don't want to hear nothing about it.
I haven't found out what a real quest is or whatever that is.
Well, we're going to get no quest find you, coach. That's what we're going to do.
Okay, you got me. Okay, please continue.
But they all air a commercial. It's usually probably in the first quarter as the ball game is kind of getting going, right? And it'll be like the CEO or the president of that corporation.
Hi, welcome to the
welcome to the whatever bowl.
Welcome to the Meridian Media Group.
Toilet bowl. There you go.
Toilet bowl. We're glad you're here, and we invite you to just enjoy with your family and friends a great bowl game, and thank you for helping us celebrate America's way of life.
But this was the All-State commercial last night. The CEO, I think he's the CEO. His name escapes me right now, but
Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson, and this was what aired last night during the ball game. Well, like first quarter of the ball game.
Welcome to the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Thank you.
Wednesday, tragedy struck the New Orleans community. Our prayers are with the victims and their families. We also need to be stronger together by overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity. Join Allstate working in local communities all across America to amplify the positive, increase trust, and accept people's imperfections and differences. Together, we win.
Wait a minute. We went... What was he really wait a minute.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it.
What's he really trying to say there? Let's see.
Play it again. Yeah, play it again.
Wednesday, tragedy struck the New Orleans community.
That's appropriate.
Our prayers are with the victims and their families.
Okay, good.
We also need to be stronger together by overcoming an addiction to divisiveness and negativity. Join Allstate working in local communities all across America to amplify the positive, increase trust, and accept people's imperfections and differences. Together, we win.
Okay. That was all right, Rob. I need your help here.
Yeah.
I need your help. Good job acknowledging, yes, there was a tragedy in New Orleans.
Absolutely.
Good job in saying prayers are with the family.
Absolutely.
Up to the first 2/3 of the spot. Dead on.
Yep, got it.
Now, what about accepting people for their differences would have changed the outcome of the attack on Wednesday?
Bingo.
What does that have to do with it? What's the connection there?
Yeah, yeah. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around why.
Now you're saying
that particular message.
Now you're saying a lot of people have made comments about this on social media.
Yeah, Clay Travis, who can't stay away from Twitter. He just loves to tweet away all day long.
Clay, be careful now.
Just tweeting away. He posted the audio of the commercial as well, and his comment was, terrorism is an imperfection. You should tolerate it more. Allstate CEO before the Sugar Bowl. So he didn't use those exact words, but the tone deaf, I think that's been the two words I've seen more than anyway. Just tone deaf about the situation and why in putting that in your 30-second ad leading up to the ball game.
All right, I'm gonna play the good part, and then you and I are gonna come up with the last of it here.
All right.
I don't know why Allstate did not consult us before they aired this.
Welcome to the Allstate Sugar Bowl. Wednesday, tragedy struck the New Orleans community. Our prayers are with the victims and their families.
Okay. From there we go. We are proud to sponsor this great event, the 2024 Sugar Bowl, and we invite you and your friends to sit back and relax and enjoy celebrating America's way of life
Two-
with this fantastic sport.
As these two great titans of the gridiron take battle in the college football playoff. Enjoy the game.
Oh, home run! Home run! Good sponsor. Wait a minute. They didn't they didn't do that.
You know who used you said stronger together?
Mm-hmm.
You know who used that tagline, right?
Joe Biden.
Hillary Clinton.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay. Well, you know.
It was a campaign slogan during her 2016 campaign, Stronger Together.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. You know, I like that. We could see. So prayers are with the family now. You know, and now we are proud to continue to bring you this event. We welcome you to enjoy the Sugar Bowl with your family and friends, and helping all states celebrate America's way of life.
Yeah,
sit back and enjoy.
And of course, shame on ESPN as well. Because
they're in there again.
It was a beautiful moment before the game started. They had people holding an American flag on the football field there at the Superdome.
Yeah.
And beautiful rendition of the national anthem. And then the entire stadium started chanting USA, USA. And guess how much of that we saw live on ESPN? Not a single second of it.
ESPN KGB.
Vodka.
Yes. We're not going to play this patriotic stuff.
In the words of Earl Pitts, wake up, America.
Wake up. I love it. Hey, we're going to take a break. Come back. We'll take your call. 601-485-9191. Stay tuned. No, it's, of course, talking about the vote on the Hill today.
We do have an update
Uh-oh.
from folks there on the Hill. It looks like Congressman Bob Good of Virginia, Republican, is a no on Mike Johnson for Speaker. If the current no's hold, Johnson fails the first ballot. Republicans have 219 seats. Johnson needs 218. If all 434 members vote, the no's right now, Bob Good and Thomas Massey. That puts Johnson at 217, even if you assume every other Republican votes for him. So add Bob Good to your Christmas card list.
Bob, not so good.
Here's Mr. Good. I'll hold his picture up for our Facebook audience there.
Here's
Mr. Good there.
There he is.
Here's Good.
Okay, well, there you go.
You know good.
All right. You're going to be the... somebody had to be the spoiler.
And there's Thomas Massey.
Thomas Massey.
He looks like he ought to be running the Allstate Corporation.
He looks Democrat.
he just looks.
He just looks. You know what I'm talking about, Rob?
I do know what
you know what I'm talking about. He just looks Democrat.
He just looks that way.
Kentucky, you got yourself a rhino.
Oh, so there you go. So that's the big news from that. Bob Good has said no. So looks like Mr. Johnson's got some work to do there.
And I think it's time to promise a moderate Democrat and some very nice things in his district if he will. I'm thinking politically here, Rob. I mean, it's like, hey,
Well, you just said the people of Kentucky don't expect too much. Now the Commonwealth of Virginia, add you to the list.
That's okay because we're part of the Beltway, at least the Eastern Virginia part. Anyway,
yeah, exactly.
601-485-9191. We're glad you're out there tuned in to this, the 2 best hours of local live talk radio. Caller on the line. Let's take that call. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Tell us, oh wise one. Tell us what we should expect today.
Well, I'm tuning in late, so I'm trying to get your and Rob's opinion on Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on him?
Well, what part? I think he presents himself well. He's well spoken, and I believe politically he navigates, I think, pretty much for the conservative side. It's just that when we just saw the recent continuing resolution and all the rest they had to go through to keep the government open, whatever, that was a place where you did have to do what they call in politics, make some concessions.
Okay.
Now that's my take on it. I mean, plus, and he'll tell you himself, he's a good Christian man.
Yeah, he has said that before a lot. So,
yes, and I think he's displayed it too.
Say that again.
I think he's displayed that as well.
Oh yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I like him. I think as far as who they've presented so far, I think he's done a good job, and I think he'll continue. Plus, if he's going to work, what I do like to see is somebody who is going to work with Trump and not try to chart their own course, so to speak.
Just like that guy from Kentucky did.
Oh!
I'm telling you, I'm so glad he's going home, but he's trying to do things before he leaves. But Rob, you think Johnson's going to get reelected?
I don't. Just from what we've read this morning, Jimmy, I don't think the first ballot. Probably not. I'm reading a little bit more into what's going on up there. I had Mr. Guest on the show yesterday, and obviously we know which way he's going to vote on this, but they're going to have the first vote around. Roger, did he say noon up there yesterday?
No, I'm not recalling the exact time.
So I think they're going to convene around lunchtime today or a little before. I don't think he's going to be able to get this first ballot because we just broke that Congressman from Virginia has also said no. So that's 2 no's. He can't have more than that to get this through. But I think there's at least 6, maybe 7 others that are kind of on the fence right now. So I'm just hoping that we don't have what we had with McCarthy a couple of years ago, where it took 15 votes. So
absolutely.
we don't need that, because you got to remember, got to certify the election. They got to certify the election. The Congress does. So they can't do that
without a speaker. They can't do that.
They cannot do that. So that's pretty big deal right now. So,
well, I just hope they'll come together, because the the first 2 years of Trump's last term, I mean, the Republicans, we had a tremendous opportunity. And Roger, you said this yesterday talking to guests. You pointed this out.
Yes.
That the Republicans missed a huge opportunity, and they need to take advantage of it this 2 years of Trump's term and get some things done that need to be done.
Well, and you've got the Senate, you got the House, the Supreme Court, it's lined up the way it is, and the presidency. I mean, my gosh, it's all there. So
if you can't get it done, well, I won't go for
I mean, I don't know.
And I'll say this about compromise. I realize, there's a lot of that has to take place sometimes, but now the Republicans are in a position where they can basically dish back to the Democrats exactly what the Democrats gave them, and that is absolutely no concessions.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
But you have people that don't want to get, they want to set their own agenda. They're all, and I don't know if you heard Michael Guest say this yesterday, but it kind of struck me. He said, well, the Democrats, they all want a leader, and they all, no matter what you say about whether you agree with that leader or not, they all get behind them or her, and they vote with them. He says they're like sheep. He said Republicans tend to be a little bit more independent thinking.
That's true.
So I said, well,
but they got things done by sticking together.
And that's a very good point. And that's what I think Massey and Good and all these Republicans need to know. Look, whatever you're saying right now you think is going to make your constituency feel all nice and fuzzy about you, just know that if you are interested really in the overall good of what your party can do, quit this politicizing this moment and just get down to business. If you get in, all right, let's say this, you get a year, maybe 2 years into this cycle, and you don't like what the speaker's doing, you don't like the way things are going. All right, hey, let's replace him.
But let's take advantage of these 2 years.
But let's get started. Yes.
I'm going to have to say amen to that. And Rob, you can take up the election, okay?
I'll do it.
Well, you going to sing a special for us?
Yeah.
All right.
Just as I am, Lord.
MAGA.
Oh, sacra.
I know it. Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
Hey, good to hear from you, Jim. Thanks for your comments. 601-485-9191. You too can be part of the show. But, doesn't that make sense, Rob? Don't take this point to try to prove your point. Even if you have one, or if you have a marginal idea. Let's say, okay, we just came off of this high of this great kind of a nice sweep across the nation with this election. We've got these majorities. And now controversial, then okay, look at that. But let's just get down to business now. There's been enough politicizing for 2 years during the campaign. A lot of I won't say water has flown under the bridge, but let's just say a lot of fluid has gone down the pipe.
Down the swampy pipe.
And now let's just get down to it and quit messing around.
Well,
and I say that, and so I say to Massey, let's try the bamboo shoots and let's just see if you really mean what you say.
Well, and you got to remember this too. One thing that's not being discussed about this first session of Congress, the first day, not just the vote, what they are proposing on the back end of this. They have to pass rules for this Congress on the floor. One of those is they want to make it more difficult for you to oust the speaker. So remember when McCarthy was going through these 15 rounds, he had to make a lot of concessions just to get the gavel.
Yeah.
And that's why it made it so much easier for them to get rid of him. So now they're trying to make rules to pass on the floor to make it more difficult for you to oust a speaker. So do they go back on some of that potentially to make it a little easier? I mean, I don't know. Is that a deal breaker? I don't know. But also I think about this too with Massey and now this guy from Virginia, Good. We didn't even know who these guys were until earlier this week. And now they're on the tip of everyone's tongue talking about the nose. And did they want some look at me? I'm going to try to be the guy who's going to stand up for my whatever.
And
So,
maybe they're picturing some very good staunch supporters in their, you know, they've got some, here's what it is. They've got some big fundraising potential in their districts. They're saying, hey, you need to stand up against this. And so they're just doing that.
Exactly.
That's what's happening.
Exactly.
All right. Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call, 601-485-9191. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey, good morning.
Doing very well. Thank you. This sounds like a familiar voice to me.
Oh, yeah. Old Meridian night. Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm. How y'all doing?
Hey, Jeffrey. I heard I could save on average about $800 and almost $900 on my insurance.
Or maybe more.
Hey, I like it.
Maybe more. Never can tell till we try it.
That's
I
right.
love it.
Hey, let me ask y'all something. I've been listening to y'all past couple of mornings talk about Johnson, and maybe I'm just hadn't been following it close enough. But what's the rebuttal? Why he was our man? Now we have a rebuttal against him. So why are the Republicans doing this?
It's because of this last spending bill to keep the government open. Because because there was, what was it, Roger, that 1,000 something page bill or whatever, and he was supporting it initially, and a lot of Republicans gave him flack over that. And of course, they trimmed it down to just over 100 pages, and there's some Republicans that have a kind of a burr in their saddle.
But I would like to hear these people that are saying I'm going to vote no. I'd like for them to do exactly what Jeffrey's asking. Specifically, tell us why.
Yeah, give us reasons.
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Massey,
Yeah.
Mr. Good.
I didn't hear yesterday. Did Mr. Guest say exactly he's going to vote for Johnson? Correct.
Correct.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like, okay, I'm okay with him.
Mhm.
And this is why.
Yeah.
I didn't hear all of his speech, but he did state that yesterday.
Yeah, he's going to vote for him. So,
But he was okay with him increasing the debt.
I don't
I
remember.
guess.
I don't remember Mr. Guest saying that specifically yesterday, but all indications to me from our conversation with him, I think he's going to vote for him. And he didn't lay out all the specific reasons, but he gave some generalized stuff that's going on in the House that he supports Johnson on. So,
Well, and I maintain that this is not a time for specific reasons why. This is a time.
Yeah.
Okay, I may not like what he did here. I may not like this vote, or I might not like part of what this bill had in it. But right now, let's go forward together and see what we can accomplish in these next 2 years.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. We got to all come together, both Democrat and Republicans, and do what's best for the country.
Amen.
Thank you. Because whatever's in any particular bill, what we're after is getting inflation under control, getting fuel prices back to some sort of reasonable, expectation.
Border under control.
Get the border under control and get a good, strong economy going. And you're not going to do that if you spend all your time bickering and fighting.
Exactly. And so we got to, when Reagan was there, he could pull Tip O'Neill together, and they could come out with an agreement that would help the country, and we could all move forward together. And that's what we need.
Hey, I heard the College Athletic Association called and said they'd like to maybe think about a change for the Sugar Bowl. I think they want to be the State Farm Sugar Bowl.
There we go.
Oh, really? I hear you. I'm just glad they didn't say they wanted to be the Jeffrey Wilson State Farm.
There you
My
go.
pockets ain't near that.
I'm about to say, you gonna be able to put that logo on the field?
You may not have heard the first part of our show, but anyway, there was some interesting comments about the CEOs from the competing company there.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I must have been getting ready and did not hear that.
You didn't have your khakis on yet, did you?
No. I was getting there. I was pressing them.
Oh man, that's good. Good to hear from you, sir.
You as well. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all's show.
Thank you.
There's Jeffrey Wilson checking in with us. Thank you. And of course, we've always talked about, how you can go down there, right there at his office there on Highway 39.
But it's interesting, the issue,
save money.
The issues you just mentioned, obviously, the economy, inflation, gas prices, those are issues that the American voter went to the polls and said, hey, between these two candidates, this is the stronger of the two candidates that I want to see those issues addressed full steam ahead. And that should be the agenda of this Congress. But You can't do that with this particular Congress because we got people standing in the way that are like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. So we're going to go through another 15 rounds of ugliness to start out this term. Is that how we want to start this?
And
I mean, it's just like good grief.
And the way it works in Washington, based on, I think, the behavior of Mr. Massey and Mr. Good and anyone else that joins them, you're not going to be happy with anybody.
Exactly.
You're not, because to get things done, you might have, you've got some strength right now if you'll use it. But if you get things done and you just keep weakening the strength that you have, then you're going to be making compromises all day long.
I love Steve Scalise, Jim Jordan, two great men. They were put up the last time.
Likewise.
And they couldn't get the votes. So
Nope.
if that's your other two alternatives, that's the only two that Mr. Guest mentioned yesterday. I'm like, well, it looks like if that's the alternatives, then we're going to go through some more ugliness unless things get settled down.
There you go.
Today. So
We got a caller on the line. We're going to take this call in just a moment, but first we're going to tell you about Premier Paint and Body Shop, because speaking of insurance, they work well with insurance companies trying to make sure that they get your vehicle repaired like new for you.
absolutely. Their office staff is absolutely perfect to work with the insurance companies and get you back on the road fast with the like new results. Of course, everybody out in the shop with Ty Booker are fantastic. All the painters, body men, everybody in there is just wonderful. They've got at least 100 combined years of experience all across the board there at Premier Paint and Body. So no job is too large or too small there for the folks at Premier. And they do auto body repair, painting, automotive glass replacement. So if that fender bender does happen here in the new year, tell the tow truck driver, hey, I want only one spot to go to, and that is Premier Paint and Body. Easy to find them there at 1210B Highway 39, right next door to Johnson Dodge. And they're going to be opening up the doors here at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. They'll be there till 5 today. Go by and get you an estimate and let them examine your vehicle. And or you can call ahead at 601-482 Paint. That is 601-482-7246. That's our good friends down at Premier Paint and Body. And Danny, hope you're enjoying retirement.
Yeah.
Don't get you started.
Yeah, Danny.
Danny.
That's all right. I like Ty, so that's good.
Ty's good fellow.
Good man. Mornings in Meridian. We're going to take this call here. By the way, from 1868
Yeah.
till 1913,
Yeah.
you know where the federal revenue came from? 90%
90%.
of the federal revenue came from taxes on liquor, beer, wine, and tobacco.
Boy, they really messed up that prohibition thing, didn't they?
That
prohibition didn't work, did it?
messed up the revenue stream,
What are you people doing?
along with a couple of world wars and some other things.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Population
Yeah.
growth, all the rest. Let's take a phone call here. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but I was wondering how many cabinet appointees did Trump pick out of the House of Representatives? Because I know every time I said, "Dad gum," I said, "Let's just keep making our margins smaller and smaller." But how many? Does anybody know the exact number out of the House that he picked for the cabinet?
I know Gates was one. Obviously, he has stepped aside. His seat is still open because they have to have a special election. I believe Stefanik up in New York was another one, and I think there might have been a third one. So, but it was. I
But
think
keep in mind, they would all still be serving in this vote, though.
correct. So, but because they have to hold special elections until they are appointed officially to the cabinet, because they have to go through the confirmation process.
Well, we're going to find out how many of them has intestinal fortitude in the next 2 years to get things done, because it's going to be a lot of heartache for people that's living off the government dole right now.
Well, do you think they should keep Speaker Johnson or choose another?
Probably keep what they have, but I wouldn't mind another if we could get a vote, and pass it the first time. But that would never happen, if they don't keep what they have.
I think the appearance of unity is important at this point.
Oh yeah, they definitely should do it, but we know they know how to screw things up.
They've done it before, and I'm not going to be surprised if they do it again.
Well, y'all have a good day.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the phone call. You too can be part of the show, 601-485-9191. By the way, I want to just say how I was looking through my tool chest the other day, and I was just looking at how many things that I'm using regularly that I get at Trucker Supply. And I'm talking about my Milwaukee drill driver, the little rechargeable Milwaukee compressor that I use to air up tires when they look a little low. And I think about the little the battery pack that I use to jump off batteries. It might be a little bit low. I think about just a lot of different things that I get at Trucker's Supply. Of course, when I finally get time and the weather's proper, I'm going to get the old hot seat pressure washer out and get busy on the house.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Milwaukee because they have all kind of big specials going on at Trucker Supply right now with Milwaukee. We got this nice big catalog right here full of stuff that would even make Hazmat's knees shake a little bit. So go by and see them there at Truckers with all these Milwaukee specials that last until the 1st of February. A lot of buy one, get one offers right now. A lot of items there with Milwaukee. And of course, it doesn't just stop there. They also have the Knipex tools like channel locks with steroids, German engineering that'll give you the best grip ever. And of course, they got all the cordless power tools. And of course, Yeti. Yes, Yeti products are there at Trucker Supply. They've got mugs, coolers, and they even have something for the dogs as well. They got little doggy dishes. So go by and see them there at Truckers, 519 Highway 19 South. And of course, they also have, as you mentioned, the hot seat pressure washers, Streamlight flashlights. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I mean, literally, this catalog is what, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 6 pages front and back of all the specials they have right now on Milwaukee Tools.
All right.
That's amazing. So
yes,
go by and see them, 519 Highway 19 South for specials now, Milwaukee, and much more at Trucker Supply. Start off the new year by visiting the Carr family at Trucker Supply.
Absolutely. Well, it's Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you are out there. We want you to be part of the show, but we are racing toward the top of the hour of this. Is this the second show of the year?
That's right. Second show of the year, third day of the year.
Third day of the year. Well, look at us. We're always going to be a day behind, aren't we?
Well, there you go.
There you go. That's just us, right? Well, of course, the FBI, of course, saying very loudly that, yes, this was a terror attack in New Orleans, and the terrorists acted, to their best knowledge, not in coordination with anything else that has happened across the nation.
Sure.
Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
Sure.
I don't know. We'll see. Interesting, though. But, yeah, kind of some crazy things down there in New Orleans with press conferences and Allstate CEO making a statement during the Sugar Bowl. And
just let them play ball, man.
Our world is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Cray.
Everybody, welcome to Mornings in Meridian, the second hour of the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi, West Alabama. Roger B. with you, along with, say hi, the man to my left is none other than the main man from Meehan. Say hi to Mr. Rob Atkinson.
Good morning.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. A little cool out there this morning.
Well, yeah, I layered up today. I got a few layers there.
Let's see. Today's
to stay warm.
high. Let's get up to 60 today.
Okay.
29 tonight.
Sunny and 60 is actually pretty good.
Well,
not much wind.
Enjoy it because let's see. Tomorrow, 53-43. Yeah, Matt Standard, I got this. Sunday,
Matt Standard.
Sunday, 50% chance of rain. High of 70, low of 32. Are you ready for this on Monday?
I'm ready.
High of 38 and a low of 24 on Monday. Burr.
Say it isn't so.
Yeah.
Say it isn't so.
I just saw something.
Oh,
They have this long range forecast thing.
yeah.
Friday the 10th, next week from today. A mixture of rain and
Don't say it.
snow. Milk and
Oh.
bread. Milk and bread. Milk and bread.
Don't. You just closed how many schools by saying that?
I think I closed the whole county right there.
Look at you.
30% chance though, and that is a week from today. Like they know. Milk and bread. Milk and bread.
Just caused a panic.
Somebody heard snow and they ran off the road. Oh my God.
Chance of snow. What are we going to do about the weather next Friday?
It's probably,
Are we gonna?
I
Are we
just
gonna?
caused a meeting at Lima. They're gonna have a meeting right now.
Are we going? Well, I'm having a meeting right now. Are we going to work that day? Are we going to come on the air? Are we going to drive in?
We're gonna do that. Hey, I'm all for not coming in.
no.
That's the last thing I'm gonna be here before I go on vacation. I got a problem with it.
You can go to vacation early if we cancel the
Darn
show.
right, I would.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Looks like the highs next week are not even barely gonna get out of the 30s next week, and
Okay.
the lows every night gonna be well below freezing. So
And that's next week.
that's next week. That's Monday. That's all the
Okay.
way Monday through Saturday.
All right. Pipes,
So-
pet, people, and plants.
Yep.
That's your 4 Ps, right? All right. We got that worked out.
Yeah, but I saw the little snowflake in the forecast for next Friday. I was like, oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go.
It's Mornings in Meridian. It is the two best hours of local live talk radio, brought to you in part by some good people. And I'm talking about the Martins at Martin Roofing.
Absolutely. 601-485-5920 is their number. And of course, I'm a satisfied customer of Martin Roofing, like a lot of you folks are out there. Of course, roofing done right for 30 plus years, locally owned and operated, licensed right here in the state of Mississippi. And of course, I remember when we got our roof put on our home, it was a simple process. Crew was out there on a Friday and came back on Saturday morning and finished it up. And of course, all the materials were all cleaned up and just like it was just magic. They got it in and out of there pretty quick. So they have all the applications: shingle, metal, rubber, commercial roofing. They're committed to excellence in their work, and great folks, Doug Martin Sr. and Doug Martin Jr. And when you see that red sign out by someone's driveway, you know that roof is going to be great quality. So call the Martins today at 601-485-5920. They'll be glad to help you with all your roofing needs. Of course, they're members of the Better Business Bureau. They've been doing roofing right. Shout out to Stacy as well. She always gets those measurements from Doug Jr. when he's up on the roof, and they'll get you a nice looking roof there. 601-485-5920. The awesome staff at Martin Roofing, Inc.
That's right. I like that. They're a better business because they're Better Business Bureau.
BBB.
BBB. We're glad you're out there and want you to be part of the show. You can call us at 601-485-9191. 601-485-9191. Put you right here on the show with us.
Well, it looks like they found explosive, I guess, materials, bomb-making materials in this guy's home out in Houston after they executed the search warrant to go into his home. So that's what they found yesterday. So big shocker.
Well, you'd find explosives at my house.
Really?
Yeah, you'd find diesel fuel, gasoline,
Right.
and some fertilizer. You'd find all that at my house.
It's amazing.
What does that mean? I mean,
It's amazing to me the difference in these three press conferences they've had in New Orleans. The opening press conference, which, by the way, the, I guess, special agent in charge on the ground, cannot remember her name, but she had to take her nose ring out to speak to the media the first time back on Wednesday. Yeah.
Special agent, you mean the FBI?
Yes. And as the individual said, this was not a terrorist attack. And then that was obviously changed later. But the gentleman that was on the ground yesterday in front of the podium, behind the podium rather, for the FBI, he was a little bit stronger in his wording. This was a terrorist attack.
Bomb.
All right. Okay, man. Don't say bomb on an airplane. Okay, we're good.
Did he have to cover up his tattoo or take out his ring?
I
or
don't know. He was
get his ear studs out.
He was screaming behind. I was like, okay, that's that guy's in charge.
Yeah,
we get it.
We get it. Okay, you the man.
So, but yeah, do you believe it was a lone wolf deal? That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. And of course, now we're hearing that he was raised, and nothing. I'm not trying to pick on religions here, but he was raised.
No.
He was raised Muslim.
Yeah,
that's what I heard from the news source, and that he was obviously in our armed forces, and that's okay. We have folks like that now. What was it that pushed that button that radicalized him to fight against his own people, so to speak? When I say his own people, I'm talking about Americans.
Yeah, it was interesting yesterday with the Sugar Bowl being in New Orleans. They had the game yesterday afternoon instead of last night, and I know a couple of people that are on the Sugar Bowl committee just from connections through working with colleges. And
shut up.
Yeah, I know people.
Shut up.
But they said
really?
They said yesterday that the security to get into the Superdome was
I bet
insane.
I bet it ramped up last night.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you would have thought the president was there yesterday. That's how crazy the security was. So
I like it.
And there was word, I think, at one point that they were going to hold the crowd in the Superdome, as the game ended, because that other check to get out. So, I mean, it's just they were taking all kind of precautions.
In other words, if you go out, you're not coming back in. Is that the deal?
And pretty much, yeah. So,
yeah.
But I mean, it was just.
Okay.
I mean, they had dogs like around vehicles checking everybody. I mean, it was just crazy because when you go to a college football game, I mean, the Superdome is a little bit more of a unique situation because tailgating, you have some of that there, but not as much.
Yeah, it's not.
But if it would have been more of a wide open space, like at an actual stadium instead of a dome, that would have been another challenge for the FBI and state police there to have security up to par there for the ball game yesterday.
And again, let's go back to what Senior Chief said yesterday. He was our first caller of the year.
Yeah,
but he's had extensive military experience himself. He understands some of the things that go on in the minds of our enemies, because as he said, the best way to understand your enemy is kind of study him a little bit.
That's right.
The point is that is what terrorism is about. It is partially about taking lives, blood on the streets. Yeah, they want that, but they want, and they have very successfully disrupted what we have, say, 25 years ago had the norm. The norm was you would go to a event like that, fairly confident that nothing bad was going to happen. You had security, of course, you had police presence and all the rest, but you didn't have this extensive security. Airline travel, for example.
Oh, yeah.
We weren't taking our shoes off 25 years ago. We weren't, it's just, so the point is, yes, in disrupting our way of life, they make it harder for you to access and enjoy these things.
Yep.
They make it more expensive because you have to have more personnel. So you're spending the American dollar on security.
Sure.
So that's what crime and terrorism does. It just increases the cost. It increases, it lessens the freedom and enjoyment. And this is what they love. They love the fact that they're disrupting the Western way of life.
So a lot of people were wondering, it was very interesting when the press conference happened yesterday, they said that this guy acted alone, but it's very interesting that the man who drove the truck in the New Orleans Bourbon Street ordeal on Wednesday had some ties to the guy in Vegas. It's very interesting here because both were Army soldiers who served at Fort Liberty, and
they crossed paths at the same spot,
same installation, and deployed to Afghanistan at the same time, according to authorities. But defense officials told Fox that there is no evidence based on their military service that the attacks were related. While both men served at Fort Liberty, formerly known as Fort Bragg, They were there at different times. The North Carolina base is currently home to more than 50,000 service members. Authorities continue to release new information at separate new briefings Thursday. The guy that was at the podium yesterday was FBI Deputy Assistant Director Christopher Rea, telling reporters in New Orleans that there is no definitive link uncovered between the attack and the explosion. So, of course, we mentioned yesterday that the man who drove the truck into those folks in New Orleans was like an IT specialist and worked in human resources during his deployment. So, and the other guy in Vegas was a Army Green Beret in the 10th Special Forces Group. So kind of two different paths for both of them and their, I guess, military service record right there. So.
And his brother was talking about how he had grown up Muslim and along with his entire family, and said that he stepped away from Islam but found his way back following his latest his latest divorce. So here you've had failed marriages, you've had a lot of life stresses, you're going against your religion, now you're coming find your way back. It's it's kind of a recipe for crazy. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show. All right.
The wolf.
Somebody has activated the wolf.
The wolf is here.
No, I don't. It's Friday.
Friday.
It's Friday.
I'm just curious. There's no link. Wouldn't radical Islam, both following that theology, be a link?
I would think so. I would think so.
Look at you.
Coming out of basic common sense is, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have coffee the day before they did their attacks to high five or whatever. Okay, maybe that link doesn't exist, but radical Islam, the radicalization to do what they did, there's a link there. And it just kills me. I hope January 20th changes the mindset everywhere.
Well,
I'm also curious, have y'all heard anything else about the guy down in Mar-a-Lago or whatever on the golf course? They heard a peep of that guy's background or whatever. It's like he didn't even try to do what he did.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. I had not heard anything on that.
I think his trial was supposed to start here soon, or it has already started. I heard a little flash on the news about that.
Yeah. Well, I did not have a lot of conspiracy theories. You know what I'm trying to say. I did not have a lot of that rolling around my head on the first assassination attempt when Dylan Roof did. Wasn't that right? Dylan Roof?
Correct.
Okay. So when he pulled off what he did, I thought, all right, he's just a lucky little guy that managed to get away with stuff. But the more I look at with the FBI within a day saying there's no connect with the amount of information that they tried to come out with within less than 24 hours, and then to have nothing on Roof in 2 weeks, I'm now starting to smell a rat. You can't behave one way on one event and not on the other. So I am beginning to think, because here's Biden mad because they didn't go after Trump enough. I mean, he literally said it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wake up, America.
There you go.
That's
Wake up,
it.
America.
That's the cousin of Earl Pitts checking in with us here today.
I'm going to chill out, you guys. Hey, keep in mind when there's a deer on the roadside, it could run out in front of you, and there's always one behind it. Y'all be careful.
Bingo. Bye.
Thank you. There was a deer on the side of the road here at the radio station the other morning. Did you see that one? That was a buck laying out there that somebody had laid down on the side.
Why you scoop it up?
Well, by the time I saw it, I think he'd been there a minute or two.
Oh, okay. Meat's not fresh.
Yeah, if I'd have hit him, I would have probably called Fish Head come help me get him or something.
I love it.
I don't know. I'm just not into that. Gas Pastor reporting that he just left the grocery store with $40 worth of milk.
Huh?
Now, let me break that down. That means basically he probably got about 6 gallons of milk, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, 5 times.
Depends on what kind of milk you're getting.
Well, see, 5 times how about 40 goes into 5, 8 times, so 8, probably 6. I don't know, maybe a heavy milk drinker, but let's put it this way. Yes. No. That wouldn't be gallon. That'd be quarts, half gallons.
They just hire a cow.
So that'd be like 4 gallons of milk.
Wow.
So here's the deal. My wife and I yesterday evening, we went and we gave between the 2 big boxes, we gave our $500 to Bentonville, Arkansas.
Yay!
What I mean by that is by the time you run through the S store and get the bulk items,
the one that rhymes with lambs,
and it's such a privilege to go in that store because I hate to say this, Rob, but my wife and I are members. We're members of the store.
Do you taste test everything? You go to the testers?
They don't do that anymore. There's no testers out
I was
there.
in there the day they had them in there.
Well, where were they yesterday?
Weekday.
I did open a bag of chips and kind of put them back. No, I didn't. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
But so by the time you go to that store and get your bulky things,
Yes,
it includes produce too, by the way, oranges, apples, and all this. Then you go across to the other store that says W.
it rhymes with Small Mart.
And I don't. This is shameful. I guess it's shameful, or maybe it's just reality. We literally sent $500 to Bentonville, Arkansas. Now, we better not do that again for several weeks. But
that's a lot of Cheetos.
Well, we heard it was going to be cold next week, and so we just
So much bread you get with the milk.
so we got a loaf of bread. Well, no, we got 2 loaves. Got some cinnamon bread. But yes, we do get some things that maybe we don't have to have. But by the time you buy your staples, your butter, your milk, I mean, milk was literally $5 a half gallon. So,
like when we go to the big,
$5 a half gallon.
When we go to the big store that rhymes with lambs, I like to get the bulky items like your paper products. That's a big purchase.
Paper towels and toilet paper. I'm good for all 2025.
Yeah,
we're good. Yeah, we are so good.
Yeah, so that's a big purchase there. So if you did that I could see how the bill could run up pretty darn quick on you. So
and unloading the car, it was like, oh man, this is wow. We really made a haul here. But anyway, the point is,
so if the zombies come out tonight, I know where I'm going.
It probably wasn't long ago, Rob, that was $300 worth of goods.
Yeah, I imagine.
I mean, I'm talking like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
that was probably $250, $300.
What did they do? Like one of the news agencies did. You remember when Kevin goes to the checkout counter in Home Alone? And
yeah.
And then compared the price to when he did it back. What was that? 1989, 90 when that movie came out, and now what it would be like today. Like the price is just ridiculous. I mean, it's like unbelievable.
So whatever we can do, whether we're while you're thinking about voting for the House Speaker. And you're playing your little political games, Mr. Massey and Mr. Good. We just want you to get these prices down.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want an economy that will bring these prices down. Let's get inflation under control. And if you just had flashback that you were driving back in the 1970s in that GTO with the 8-track tape playing, that's Led Zeppelin there. Yeah, well, it just so happens that John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin is 79 years old today.
Yeah, I was going to ask who's on the birthday list today.
That's one of them. Of course, welcome back, folks, to Mornings in Meridian. Roger and Rob, and we're talking birthdays here. Let's see. Kimberly Locke is 47.
Okay.
Who is that? And Mel Gibson, 69.
Thanks for Passion of the Christ, Mel.
There you go.
And Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. And of course, speaking of the 70s, the very hot model actress Victoria Principal.
Wow.
75 years old today.
Jeez.
And let's see here. Look who has a birthday here.
Who?
Eli Manning.
Eli
turns 44 years old today.
How about that?
Happy birthday, Eli.
He's probably going to go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame soon.
Really?
I think he's one of the finalists for it. So had a good career there. Won a couple of rings. So
Did his dad make it?
Archie?
Yeah.
I think he's in there. Yeah.
He should be.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah. We know Peyton's in there.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. Okay. Or going to be, whatever.
All them Manning boys is pretty good.
It's going to be named the Manning Hall of Fame Bowl. That's what they do.
You rename the Sugar Bowl into that?
That's right.
I don't think anybody have a problem with that.
Hey, that would be a good name.
Well, they're from there. It makes sense.
Well, and some Mississippi ties as well. So, hey, how about the Manning Hall of Fame Bowl?
The Manning Sugar Bowl. There we go.
I like that. Yeah. Finally, Archie getting the just desserts he gets from New Orleans. There you go.
Yeah, of course, we still got another Manning playing out at Texas. So
we'll see.
He's
he's
the backup. I mean, he started a few games this year. Arch Manning.
But that's four football Mannings.
Yeah, Mannings everywhere.
We need a bowl named after the Manning.
I don't have a problem with that.
They'll say no problem if the Mannings will show us the money. Oh, that. Okay, there's that part.
Sure.
Okay, there's that part. Never mind. It's such good to have you here this morning. Want you to be part of the show. You can call us at 601-485-9191. But while you're thinking about all those supplies you thought you were going to pick up, you don't have to go to these big box stores and get them. You can just sit at your computer at your office and go to southernbusinesssupply.com. And Billy Adam Calvert will just get himself together and get you taken care of.
Absolutely. Wonderful staff down there just across the Wayman Mule Bridge.
You go, what you do, you're at the 4-way stop in Meridian, and you just go through it like you're going to Lauderdale, and a little bit of about a half mile after you cross the Wayman Mule Bridge, it'll be on the left.
There you go.
How's that?
Pretty good. Sounds like Wayman right there.
Hey, Wayman, if you're listening.
Wayman. Locally owned and operated, of course, for 40 plus years in Roland. Billy Adam Calvert, of course, appreciate what he does for us over in Jackson. Of course, office supplies, janitorial supplies, 5-gallon spring water coolers. I mean, they also carry that full line of office furniture, desks, chairs, filing cabinets. They even have an in-house decorator designer there for you if you need some assistance. And, of course, they got a great showroom there as well. Offer next day delivery on office and janitorial supplies, and go by and see them, or online, southernbusinesssupply.com. They're open right now till 5 today. Say no to the big box stores and say a big time yes to Billy Adam Calvert and the staff down at Southern Business Supply. Their number 601-485-2447. That's 485-2447 at Southern Business Supply.
Getting this report from the Wolf, he says gallon of milk at Walmart is $4.13.
Woo.
So that means Gabe was drinking a lot of milk.
Like I said, hire a cow.
That's what that's what I exactly told my wife as we were marching to the car with our basket full of stuff. So I said, I'm going to have to just get you a cow, let you feed it and milk it in the morning. It was funny. I was, I'm
$4 plus for.
That's the license. We had a price check on dairy.
Man,
that was $4.15.
Wow.
No, touching. And that was
right.
$4.13.
Exactly.
What that is.
Well, I mean, it's milk, and then the price of meat.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, go to the meat aisle and come back and talk to us.
And that's something we don't buy anything of. We generally, if we're going to eat meat, we don't really cook it at home. We just eat it out for some reason. We're kind of doing the veggie thing at home.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I mean, imagine if
just a pound of ground beef.
Yeah, I looked at that in the case at Sam's yesterday, and I said, "Ooh, wow! It looked good. Looked like good quality, but you paying for good quality."
I almost want to say, y'all slaughter them things on the site.
Look out back and you see a bunch of cowhide.
I mean, seriously. It's like, are y'all slaughtering that thing out here? What are y'all doing?
That looks fresh.
I mean, good grief, man.
Oh, so yeah, cost of living. It's, I was thinking that I'm not a good gardener. I'm not. Maybe it's time I start learning. Maybe this spring's it. Maybe I need
Spring is this year's the year.
And then get some goats and some cows and, get back to our agrarian society.
Get back to that. I love it.
Of course, it's there's stories. My wife has them about her grandparents, they had, you have a certain cow or calf that grows up to become a cow, and you're out there used to seeing it out in the pasture. Next thing you know, it's not there anymore. What happened to Bessie? Well, Bessie's in the freezer. Oh, okay. All set and ready to go.
Looks like we have this story developing, obviously, with the speaker vote.
Speaker vote developing.
Got another
nay.
Florida Congressman Carlos Jimenez announces support for Mike Johnson and tells potential holdout votes, we must put our differences aside. Saving America is bigger than any one of us. We must work to deliver President Trump's America First agenda that starts with voting in Congress today for Speaker Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson nearing 218. Of course, we talked about the two holdouts are saying no right now is Massey and Good. So that's the latest report there. So he released that statement a few minutes ago. And Trump has also weighed in. When Trump sends out a Truth Social, it's always going to get big news. He sent this out earlier this morning. Good luck today for Speaker Mike Johnson, a fine man of great ability who is very close to having 100% support. A win for Mike today will be a big win for the Republican Party and yet another acknowledgement of our 129-year most consequential presidential election. A big affirmation in indeed MAGA, and of course kind of went on from there. So he sent that out earlier this morning. So Trump saying near 100%, but like I said, we still got those two right there. Jimenez, I thought that was very well stated by him. That's bigger than any one of us.
And
he said
that's the message.
And he said saving America is bigger than any one of us.
Well spoken. You said Menendez?
Yeah, Carlos Jimenez from Florida. Yeah, Jimenez. Yeah.
Jimenez. Thank you, Congressman. Good stuff.
And also, Ron DeSantis in the news this morning. I don't know if you saw this or not. Governor Ron DeSantis, his signature Stop Woke Act is reportedly destroying DEI organizations in the state of Florida. One Miami DEI leader says her revenue was cut in half because of the restrictions. It went, wow, you ready for this? 300,000 to now 150,000. Because of this, the group can hardly organize community events anymore. DEI.
Yeah, because they got to pay that 150,000 to somebody's salary.
DeSantis was right. Florida is literally where woke goes to die. He said in a speech, he said, behind a podium, you're going to love this. It was a picture of the state of Florida. It says, freedom lives here. He says, we reject woke ideology. We fight the woke in the legislature. We fight the woke in the schools and the corporations. We will never, ever, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
Love it.
So DeSantis signing that bill. It is the Stop Woke Act.
And again, if you're thinking this is such a tragedy, you're thinking about America going back to what America was I guess what has made us great over the years, and that is people being rewarded and positioned because of their merit and abilities, not just because they have a certain race, nationality, or gender.
Well, just look at the FBI, for instance. They are having all of these DEI hiring events.
Mm-hmm.
They had one down in New Orleans not too terribly long ago.
Let's apply. You want to?
No.
Well, you think they'd hire a couple of white Christian guys?
Once Cash Patel gets in there, it's not going to matter who you are. As long as you're the best qualified individual.
Bam! Come on, Cash.
Yeah.
Come on, Cash.
So, but yeah, I love how this one DEI leader says our revenue was cut in half from 300 to 150. We can't even organize community events anymore.
It's heartbreaking.
What community events do you have that are so important that is going to be what's going to be accomplished at these things? What is the definition of a community event for them? I mean, well, if you don't like it, go to another state because it's not going to happen in Florida. It sounds like
there's a community event every weekend. There's a church service. Go to it.
So we sign off our football broadcast on Friday night. Choose the church of your choice.
Good sign off.
Yes, sir.
That's a community event.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. Do that.
So, but yeah. So DeSantis, once again, Governor, we salute you.
DeSantis.
And also next to that headline, Joe and Jill Biden will travel to New Orleans next week amid New Year's terror attack.
You want to go down and meet them?
Oh, that's going to be a hard pass there.
I don't know. Normally, I'd want to go down and get acquainted, but he's not going to remember meeting me if I did. So what's the point?
So you thought security was bad at the ball game yesterday. Just imagine what it's going to be like there next week when he shows up.
Probably not as much as the ball game.
That's true. Fair enough.
Probably not as much as Did I just say that?
He's so wrong.
Did I just say that?
Wrong.
I just said that, didn't I? Oh, mercy me. Well, is it this weekend? There's an event at Bonita Park. Is there like they call the Scorpion Run or something?
I believe so. I thought that was coming up soon.
I saw a story about it earlier, but I'm missing it right now. But anyhow,
there's so much going on with all this national stuff, and then locals kind of getting buried a little bit. Which, by the way, I'm glad you mentioned local because open qualifications started yesterday for the municipal elections. For this upcoming year. Of course, the big story was no big surprise to anybody. Percy Bland filed his paperwork yesterday to run for mayor once again here in Meridian.
You mean those signs we saw around town for the last 3 months are true?
Ain't no lie.
You go.
And he's going to have some kind of a big rally event there at City Hall today at 12:15. So,
there you go.
So the race for mayor is officially underway. And of course, several folks did file their paperwork for council yesterday as well. So
Cash Matlock's going to have lunch downtown today.
Pretty much.
I got you.
Look for him. He'll be there.
All righty. All right. Queen City Newsfeed. That's if you want to know what's going on when we're not around. And we'll be right back. We got to take this break. I'm Roger. He's Rob.
Monkeys.
Oh, we're talking about the 60s and 70s, right? How about the Monkeys?
Monkeys.
The little leftover song there I had for Davy Jones' birthday a few days ago. But anyway, that's just something to throw in there. Glad you're out there, folks. Welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. Roger along with Rob on this. It's the first Friday of 2025.
Yep.
So we're off to a good start. Good news, you still have, let's see, the countdown is that you have 355 days till Christmas.
Shut up.
355 days till Christmas, or 345 to Alabama's next bowl game.
Hey, you always talk about wanting to start something. You want to start something.
Tuscaloosa Ted here in the back part of the studio there.
That's fine. I'll wait for you in the parking lot.
That's all right. Are you current on your alimony?
No comment.
Hey, your ex called, said you're behind a little bit.
Don't believe everything you hear.
You shouldn't have bet all that money on the.
Yeah, you're telling me. Wolverines.
Get
that mess out of here.
Michigan. We gotta give Michigan to Canada, right?
Well, the one thing about that Alabama losing to Michigan, did you realize that Alabama lost to Michigan to begin 2024 and to end 2024? Because remember, they
did not see the bookend factor there.
They lost in the Rose Bowl on January 1
to Michigan.
Wow. And then they lost in that bowl game to wrap up the year to Michigan.
Okay, there you have it.
Wow.
Smacked coming in and smacked going out.
DeBoer still a bore.
Oh, well, give him another year.
No, I don't know.
Come on now.
Got a different standard around here.
It's like voting for the speaker. You give him a chance.
Give him a chance.
Give him a chance.
Give him a chance. Got to give everybody a sporting chance.
I wonder what the well-heeled alumni of Alabama are saying though right now. I'm talking about the money people.
Oh, the money folks?
Yeah.
There's probably some murmuring going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. What do you think he's going to make? What are we going to do? Who should we get? Anyway.
My whole feeling about it now is they always want to point the dirty finger at the coach now. Well, the players are being paid now.
How about pointing it at the system?
Well, and the way the system is set up, they're paying these guys to come in there. So it's basically who's going to outbid who for the best players out there. So, and who's to say those guys didn't really give what the other day in that ball game, since they weren't playing, they were hired to go win a championship and they didn't win the championship. So what effort do we need to show?
Who's the highest paid in the college system right now?
It's funny you asked that. Ohio State has the most expensive team out there. That roster collectively together, when you include all the NIL money, $20 million.
Wow.
And they're one of the final four in the college football playoff.
So we're going to get in the playoffs. That's what it's going to come down to, is that each college organization is going to say, if you want us to do any better, you're going to have to give us some money, because we got to get the talent in here.
You got to go out and buy it.
Just like they do in the NFL.
Well, it's weird. Clay Travis put an article up this morning. The offensive coordinator at Boise State, I believe he's leaving to take a job in the professional ranks, that same position or whatever, at one of the pro teams. And as he is leaving, he is warning folks, this NIL stuff for schools like a Boise State, who are not predominantly a powerhouse in college football, we're going to lose all the big recruits because we're getting outbid.
That's it.
We don't have the money.
Yeah.
And that's why you see all these NIL collectives starting up at all these colleges, and even junior colleges, if you can believe that, because it's all about the money.
Yeah.
The money.
601-485-9191 is our talk line. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Lefty here.
Lefty!
Boy, you just about made it.
Where you were yet?
Lefty got up late this morning. I got up about 5 and got a fire started and went back to bed, and sure enough, I went back to sleep.
Wow.
I have a prediction about Alabama, or the head coach at Alabama.
Oh, Tuscaloosa Ted is braced for you.
After losing 3 games and the bowl game,
yeah,
don't be surprised sometime after the season's over with, that guy is replaced. They can't take it. They can't stand it.
I agree.
They can't stand to lose. My God, losing 3 games in one season and the bowl game. Oh,
But aren't they going to have to pay him off though? If they,
Oh yeah, if they replace him, they're going to owe him like $30 or $40 million in a buyout. So
well, that'd be a lot of money, but probably not a lot of money to Alabama football program. They probably would
you know,
trade it in just to
30
have a
million
winning
here,
season.
30 million there. Next thing you know, you're talking real
well,
money.
the thing about it is the real MVPs are these agents who get these deals signed and put that clause in their contract. Like, all right, you're going to fire my guy. Guess what? You're going to pony up this money to get rid of him. That's who the real geniuses are.
Well, it won't be the first time it's been done. That's for sure.
But some of that, you know, some of that makes sense though, because, you know, just because, all right, you get hired, you have a bad season, it may be largely the fact that, hey, your talent pool is very low and you did the best you could with what you got. Shouldn't have to pack up and load the U-Haul again just because of that. You know, give yourself a chance to build a team.
What was it? Who was the coach they had over there for 1 year? And was it Gene Stallings? He played for he coached for State, didn't he?
Stallings,
or was it Alabama?
He was at Alabama.
He fired after a year.
Now Stallings was there at Alabama for several seasons.
He was there for a while, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he won a national championship in the early '90s. So
okay, maybe that's why my best buddy calls him Mr. Sports. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Well,
I don't have the memory that he does. He's
so
like
is this
a human pachyderm?
Is this your first call for the year? I believe it is. We haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah, I guess it is. And I listened yesterday, and I think I turned it off when the Ruthless got on there. And I bet I'm not the only one that does that.
I'm glad since you're trying to start something, you're doing it 2 minutes before the top of the hour.
It's too late to the break now. It's too
I
late
know
for
it.
y'all signing off.
Yeah, I hear you.
this ain't his first rodeo.
That's right. Anyhow,
y'all have a happy New Year, but that's I wouldn't be surprised if I saw that happening. But that 30 million may put the brakes on it. Y'all are right.
Yeah, I don't. Nothing surprises me nowadays. Anything could happen.
Well, poor old Southern needs some help down there, don't they?
I think they got a good coach coming in. I think they're going to be fine. They're going to get back to where they were.
I saw that. I saw that guy. I said, well, they sure used to. They're nothing like they used to be back in the 80s.
as long as they can buy some good players.
They got to go buy the players.
Nobody wanted to play them, I can tell you that.
That's right. Anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah. Well, that takes us to the top of the hour. Lefty, thanks for checking in with us. And
y'all have a good one.
All right.
You too. And that's it for this week. Here we are at Friday. So meet us back here at Monday after Fox News at 7:00, and we'll have another show.
Sounds good, folks. Be safe this week and stay warm.
Amen. God bless and buy local.